You think it's just dinner? A sizzling plate, a smiling server, a safe choice? But what if that steak was cooked last month, sealed in plastic, and zapped in a microwave right before it hit your table? What if that fresh salad was pre-chopped, cross-contaminated, and sprinkled with bacteria from reused gloves? There could be mold in the ice bin, fruit flies circling the garnishes, and reused tongs flipping your chicken after touching raw meat. And that iced drink? You might be sipping it with mold. Sounds extreme? Just wait. Because behind the glossy menus and catchy commercials, your favorite restaurants are hiding something, and it's not on the receipt. This isn't just speculation. Former employees are speaking out. Health inspectors are raising red flags. Viral videos are exposing secrets no one was supposed to see. Today, we're pulling back the kitchen door on 6 of the most trusted restaurant chains in America. Places you've likely eaten at. Maybe even this week. What we found? Mold in the ice. Grease on the floors. Lies on the plate. Once you hear what's really happening behind the menu, you might never eat the same way again. Let's start with the place that's built its brand on a sizzle. But spoiler alert, that sizzle, it's completely fake. Chili's sells a vibe. The commercials are sleek, the fajitas arrive at your table sizzling, and the desserts ooze molten chocolate like a dream. But step out of the dining room and into the kitchen, and the illusion falls apart faster than you can say, bottomless chips. According to multiple former employees, almost every entree starts its life the same way. Sealed in plastic, frozen solid. Those ribs you ordered? Pre-cooked in a factory. Vacuum sealed and shipped out by the truckload. That creamy pasta? Boiled in massive industrial batches and drenched in sauce from giant plastic pouches. Even the mashed potatoes, which sound homemade on the menu, are nothing more than dehydrated flakes reconstituted with margarine and tap water. And that signature sizzle when your skillet arrives? It's not the food. Servers admit they spritz the pan with water or oil just before it hits your table. What you're hearing is fake steam, not fresh heat. But the worst part isn't the shortcuts, it's the safety violations. Health inspection records reveal that raw chicken has been stored above lettuce bins, allowing for potential drip contamination. In one Florida location, food was caught sitting in the danger zone between 40 degrees and 140 degrees Fahrenheit, meaning bacteria were having a party before it hit your plate. Employees have confessed that kitchen staff sometimes wear the same gloves to handle raw meat, then prep salsa, or toss salad toppings without changing. One viral image showed a worker holding raw steak, barehanded, hovering over burger buns destined for customers. Cleanliness? Barely. Former servers describe soda machines coated in syrupy residue, floors so slick with grease they felt like skating rinks, and fruit flies buzzing around the drink garnishes. One bartender even posted a video of lemon wedges soaking in murky water with the haunting caption, "Still want that in your iced tea." And let's not forget dessert. That famous molten chocolate cake, it's shipped frozen, pre-filled with liquid chocolate. If the center's still cold, they'll just nuke it again. Next time someone says Chili's is their go-to, ask if they like their food pre-bagged, their grill mark stamped on, and their salsa made from concentrate. Because that fresh from the grill meal, it might have been boxed up last month, but if Chili's serves up performance art, then Popeyes is running a backstage disaster. The commercials say, "Love that chicken." But behind the scenes, what's really happening at Popeyes might make you lose your appetite. It's no secret that Popeyes chicken, when fresh, can be delicious. Crunchy coating, juicy center, buttery biscuits on the side. It sounds like fast food heaven. But here's the catch. The word fresh is doing a lot of heavy lifting. According to former employees, if you're lucky enough to hit Popeyes during a lunch rush, you're probably getting decent chicken. But show up after 3 or 4 p.m., you might be getting pieces that have been sitting in warmers for hours, sometimes well past their safe window. One ex-worker said bluntly, "If it should have been tossed, it probably wasn't. And those mashed potatoes and gravy, powdered mix. The gravy itself, described as a meat-flavored paste that smells like glue. Cajun rice, once a staple, was quietly pulled from the menu in some areas after repeated customer complaints that it looked like wet cardboard and tasted like salt with a side of regret. During peak hours, employees have admitted to rushing prep, sometimes sending out undercooked chicken, rock-hard biscuits, and improperly thawed tenders. One customer posted a photo of a drumstick that was raw and pink inside, captioning it, "Tastes like salmonella." Let's talk cross-contamination. In many locations, the same tongs are used to handle raw and cooked chicken. One Chicago inspection uncovered raw chicken juice pooling on a prep table, right next to fully cooked pieces. That's not fast food. That's bacteria roulette. Add to that the issue of fryer oil, which should be changed every day or two. Reality? In many locations, it's used for up to a week. That crunchy coating? It could be flavored by 5-day-old grease soaked with leftover crumbs and old batter. And what about those drink machines? A former manager confessed that ice chutes are rarely cleaned, often just once a week. One health report in Atlanta even found visible mold growing inside the ice bin. Consistency? Forget it. A 3-piece combo might mean 3 wings one day, 2 giant thighs the next. It all depends on what's left in the bin. As one employee put it, you're not getting a meal, you're getting a fried chicken lottery ticket. Popeyes might be viral when it drops a new sandwich, but peel back the fryer basket, and the shine starts to wear off fast. Still hungry? Then let's flip the pancake and head to IHOP, where, fresh off the griddle, isn't always as fresh as it sounds. You walk into IHOP expecting comfort, fluffy pancakes, hot syrup, endless coffee. But according to former employees, what you're actually walking into might be closer to a chemistry experiment than a kitchen. Despite marketing itself as a cooked-to-order diner, insiders say that many menu items are anything but. Omelets, made with egg mix from cartons. French toast, batter from giant plastic jugs. Bacon, cooked in bulk, then stored in warming drawers. Even pancakes, IHOP's crown jewel, are only made with fresh batter once per shift. If you're eating at 10 p.m., that batter might have been whipped up at 8 a.m. Things get worse. One former line cook admitted to using the same spatula for eggs, sausage, and pancakes, without cleaning it between plates. That means your vegetarian breakfast might have been sautéed in pork grease. Health inspections back up the complaints. In one city, raw eggs were stored directly above open containers of fresh strawberries. In another, ranch dressing was held at temperatures over 50 degrees. That's not homey. That's a breeding ground for bacteria. Servers have also posted alarming footage. Moldy whipped cream lids, syrup dispensers left sticky and unwashed all day, and overfilled dishwashers so backed up that silverware gets wiped with napkins instead of properly cleaned. One viral image showed a waffle iron crusted with dried batter from the night before, the caption reading, "Every waffle has a little history." And don't get fooled by the syrup. It's not real maple. It's artificially flavored corn syrup dyed brown, poured into pitchers that often sit out all day. One server revealed the unspoken rule. If it's not empty, we don't touch it. Translation: you might be drenching your pancakes in syrup that's been exposed for hours. Or worse, fruit toppings, sliced in the morning, left in open bins until night. If it looks okay, one worker said, we use it. Even if it's a little brown. Clean floors? Think again. Several videos show greasy tile, overflowing trash bins, clogged drains, and standing water. One former employee went viral after showing how they stirred massive pots of soup with a broom handle. Yes, a literal broom. IHOP might feel like a warm, nostalgic breakfast stop, but if you knew what was happening behind that blue roof, you'd never order the same way again. But before you swear off breakfast for good, let's slide over to another American classic. Denny's, where the pancakes might be hot, but the ingredients are ice cold. Denny's is supposed to be the king of late-night comfort food. Pancakes at 3 a.m., bottomless coffee, and the promise of a warm, familiar meal no matter the hour. But that familiarity might be hiding something far less appetizing. Behind the scenes, former employees paint a picture that's more cafeteria than restaurant. Hash browns? Frozen. Burger patties? Frozen. Scrambled eggs. In many locations, they arrive in plastic bags, poured out onto a grill like some yellow milkshake from a science lab. And it doesn't stop there. Pancakes and waffles are made in huge batches, stacked on trays, and microwaved when needed. One employee said they only cleaned the waffle iron when it started smoking. Another quipped that if you hear the microwave beeping, that's the real chef. But while the shortcuts are bad, the sanitation issues are worse. Health inspectors in Los Angeles flagged one Denny's for a full-blown roach infestation. Another, in Georgia, had rodent droppings under the salad prep table and behind the toaster. If that doesn't ruin your appetite, maybe this will. A former dishwasher confessed they reused rags until they stank and mopped the floors with gray water. That's not cleaning. It's just rearranging the bacteria. Presentation is another problem. A viral review showed a Grand Slam breakfast with rubbery eggs, soggy toast, and sausage links that looked boiled instead of grilled. This looks like hospital food in disguise, the reviewer wrote. And the shakes you remember as creamy and nostalgic, often made with soft serve, mix from machines that rarely get deep cleaned. One insider said the shake machine was taken apart, maybe once a week, sometimes less. That thick vanilla flavor? It might come with a side of mold. Consistency across locations is hit or miss. Some follow health codes. Others, not so much. One customer posted photos of the same dish from two different Denny's. One looked Instagram-worthy, the other looked like leftovers from a high school lunch tray. Then there's the staff turnover. With low wages, long shifts, and little training, many new hires are thrown onto the line before they even know what's in a Grand Slam. One said they were handed the breakfast shift with just 15 minutes of explanation. And when speed is prioritized over safety, it's no wonder things slip through the cracks. Unwashed hands, reused gloves, and food that blurs the line between edible and hazardous. So next time you sit down at Denny's for some feel-good nostalgia, ask yourself, is it really comfort food? Or just a frozen performance with a questionable safety record? Let's head somewhere even more familiar. If Denny's is a frozen mess, then mall favorite Sbarro might just be running a pizza time machine. The smell is what draws you in. Garlic, cheese, hot dough wafting through the food court like a trap. Sbarro markets itself as New York-style pizza without the New York price. But step behind the counter, and that slice might be more like pre-baked, relamped, and well-aged. According to former employees, most of the pizzas are made in bulk, sometimes hours before you walk in. They're left under heat lamps or reheated in the oven when someone finally places an order. That crispy crust you're biting into. It may have been crispy 5 hours ago. The pasta? Boiled early in the day, then dumped into warming trays where it sits until gluey by noon, and borderline inedible by late afternoon. One insider described the Alfredo as chunky by 4 p.m. And those buttery breadsticks, reheated over and over again until they harden into potential dental hazards. If it could chip a tooth, it's ready to serve, joked one former employee. But the bigger concern is food safety. Health inspectors have flagged multiple Sbarro locations for temperature violations. Hot food kept too cold, cold food left out too long. In one case, trays of cooked sausage were left uncovered on a prep table for over an hour. When inspectors asked why, a staffer casually said, "We were going to use it again later." Translation: time-traveling toppings are apparently on the menu. And now viral TikTok video showed the inside of one Sbarro kitchen. Uncovered dough collecting dust, cheese bins crusted around the edges, and sauce containers so stained it looked like they hadn't been cleaned in weeks. The caption? Bon appetit, I guess. And if that wasn't bad enough, the pizza cutter, the actual tool, was reportedly wiped down between uses with a dirty rag. That means your vegetarian slice might be marinated in sausage grease or worse. As for the ingredients, highly processed. The cheese comes pre-shredded in industrial bags with anti-caking chemicals. The dough is frozen, thawed, and if unused, often reused the next day. That slice you're grabbing between stores might not just be from today. It might not even be from yesterday. So before you grab a slice at the mall, ask yourself, do you want fresh pizza? Or reheated leftovers hiding under a shiny heat lamp? Now let's hit the final stop on this tour of culinary deception. A place that never sleeps, but maybe should. Waffle House. Waffle House has a reputation. It's open through hurricanes, blackouts, even pandemics. You can get eggs at 2 a.m., hash browns smothered and covered, and maybe a front row seat to a parking lot brawl. But while the chaos outside is viral worthy, the real concern is what's happening inside the kitchen. Start with the eggs. At many locations, they're cracked into bulk jugs at the start of each shift, then scooped out all day long. That means your freshly cracked scramble might have been sitting for hours. One cook said, "If it smells fine, we use it. If it smells a little weird, we still use it. Just add cheese. Cheese grits, made from powder with torn up slices thrown in. Nothing gourmet. And the gravy for the biscuits? It's canned, salty, and left in warming trays all day. The pancake batter sits in tubs, uncovered, attracting flies. Syrup bottles are often refilled but never cleaned. One former employee said, "The only thing fresh is the drama. And when it comes to fryers, it's another horror story. Oil is supposed to be changed daily. In reality, it can go several days until it turns from golden to black. Fish, sausage, and hash browns all share the same fryers. So if your hash browns taste like catfish, now you know why." Health violations are common. One Texas Waffle House was cited after staff failed to wash their hands after handling raw eggs. Another in Georgia had mold in the ice machine and standing water under the grill. Several kitchens were flagged for rodent droppings, roaches, and expired condiments. The waffle irons are rarely scrubbed. Grease builds up, sometimes dripping into the fresh batter. In one viral clip, a worker was seen scraping old batter from the corner of the iron with a spoon, then flipping the spoon and stirring someone's grits with the other side. And when the dishwasher goes down, forks are rinsed in the sink and reused. Plates are pulled out, still wet and stacked under the counter, ready for service. Diners have shared images of crusted forks, cracked mugs, and chipped bowls being served like it's no big deal. Waffle House runs on minimal staffing, high stress, and fast turnover. One ex-cook described the job as cooking eggs, mopping floors, taking orders, and fighting cockroaches, sometimes all at once. So the next time you stop by at 3 a.m. for a quick bite, maybe ask yourself, is it worth the risk for $10 worth of eggs and uncertainty? All 6 of these chains have something in common. It's not just the shortcuts or the prepackaged ingredients. It's the illusion. They sell you on freshness, on made-to-order magic, on food that feels comforting and safe. But behind the branding, it's a different story. These aren't one-off incidents. These are patterns confirmed by former staff, verified through health inspections, and exposed in viral videos. From the artificially sizzled skillets at Chili's to the moldy ice bins at Popeyes, the syrup-crusted tables at IHOP, the frozen eggs at Denny's, the stale slices at Sparrow, and the chaos kitchens of Waffle House, there's a hidden cost to your convenience. When speed and profit come first, safety and quality are often the first to disappear. And what you don't know might actually hurt you. So next time you scan a menu or sit down at a familiar table, ask yourself, what's really behind that plate? Because the truth, the real truth, it's rarely printed on the menu. And once you've seen behind the kitchen door, you can't unsee it. If this gave you something to think about, hit like and share it with someone who needs to know. Tap subscribe if you want more truth behind your favorite chains. And remember, what's sizzling on the surface might be hiding something rotten underneath.